Greetings and salutations. It is I, Johnny of the Wizard Cast, and you're listening to episode number 3, season 3 of the Who the Heaven Is I podcast. Who the Heaven Is I? Well, it is I, Johnny, the artist currently known as the Soul Pilot. And when we last heard our podcaster, we were talking about 7 days of success. That was on Monday. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. It's 4 days later, and I'm 3 days shy of the 7 days, right? But here's the reality. I haven't turned the key on the ignition. I guess I turned the key on the ignition. I hadn't pulled the car out of park yet. So sometimes things happen, you know? Sometimes things shift. And what can be a strength can be a weakness. Okay. That being said, one of my greatest strengths is my ability to go with the flow and kind of reshift and reframe and all that stuff. But if I do not solidify intentions, actions, times, dates, then everything is just kind of like whatever, which can be cool. And don't get me wrong, I love serendipitous occasions. I love the randomosity of the universe, just kind of, and sometimes things will work that way. But I feel, and I know that if I don't put the effort into the intention doesn't gravitate towards completion, unless it's something super magical, which, don't get me wrong, the project I'm working on, the backup EP, the soundtrack for Master Strange in the Omniverse, the Beginner's Guide to Quantum Living, is really, really magical. So magical, there's a wizard involved. Granted, the wizard's one of my alter egos, Master Strange, but that's a whole nother story. What's the whole other story to the other story is it's Thursday morning at approximately 7:40 in the a.m. I've been awake for approximately 2 hours and 10 minutes, give or take. I take a little drift nap back in here and there, but for the most part, I've been awake for 2 hours. I did do a bunch of things. I peeled some eggs, made some toast, that kind of stuff. I did some work for a client. I did a meditation, and I'm working on this podcast. So hey, pump the brakes. Johnny's doing what Johnny's got to do. But I haven't gotten into the G.O.D, the goals of the day. And so today, goals of the day is to map out my 7 days of success and post it. And if you hear another podcast from me and you look at the wizardcast.com or you look at the Wizardcast social media feeds and you say, hey, Johnny, your 7 days of success, I don't see it. Hold me accountable. I think that's the challenge in life is, they say with great power comes great responsibility. And probably the most important responsibility with any sort of power is self-regulation. I think Warren G. and his posse were probably the only people that understood the true nature of regulation, which is why he penned the anthem, right? But the reality is when we learn to self-regulate, when we learn to control our behaviors, not dependent upon anyone else, not dependent upon guidance from any sort of memes or posts or stories or books or anything, but just by us going internal, then the world gets truly magical. Because I'm a firm believer that we have all the power and resources within us to create heaven on earth, to bring forth the life that we've always wanted to live. And when you read, my autobiography, Who the Heaven Is I, coming out fall of 2025, then you'll understand, especially the past 5 years, that when I've been in that flow state of intention, planting the seed, and then follow through, which, unlike Tom Fazio, I'm not an avid golfer, I'm a rabid golfer, which is why I'm working on Fazio's Extreme Mini Golf. You know, the John Fazio way of golfing. Because golf, to me, especially the miniature golf, could use a little excitement and delightment. Anyway, I progress. So when we're able to go inward and really silence everything around us, like sometimes you have to go deep into the forest, literally, to get away from the cars, to get away from the TVs, to get away from the radios. Turn your phone off and just take your shoes off, you know, sit in the grass and just listen to the birds. Like right now, beautiful birds. I used to wake up every morning and feed the birds and the squirrels and water the plants. I got a family of I guess 5-ish here of plants that I'm taking care of. I got Spike, the aloe vera plant, which has been very helpful when I unceremoniously burned my chest by attempting to cook shirtless, which, hey, that's my own fault. Like, why would I throw a pound of beef into a wok filled with about a 1/4 inch of oil and not expect anything to happen? Like, that was just hashtag epic fail. But it's kind of like having a tattoo that I didn't expect, and it's, you know, it is what it is. But then we also got Lily, which is a lily plant, Lily Junior, which is a small lily plant that hasn't blossomed into flowers like Lily has. There was a little daisy that I planted from the street, and that's coming along pretty good. The daisy's still alive and well, and it's got a friend growing here now, and the greenness is starting to sprout again, so that's cool. We have actually a chrysanthemum pot and a tag, but I think this thing as well is dead. I mean, it looks like if there was ever a zombie plant, this would be it, because it looks like it's trying to grow, but it's like dead. So it's like this brown, you know, chrysanthemum seedling, but it's like trying to go. So I'm just gonna keep giving it water and love and see what happens. And then there's the 2 seeds, Ave Maria. They're avocado seeds that are starting to sprout open a little bit. Eventually be planted into some Alice in Chains dirt, and yeah, let that go. But nonetheless, at some point in one's life, I'm going to speak specifically on my own, you have to say, okay, enough is enough, you know, and so starting now, I'm doing the 7 days of success. Okay, so, you know, that sounded great on Monday, right? And I know I got some feedback on that podcast. People enjoyed it, which I'm glad, you know, but it means nothing if the proof's not in the pudding. And I never understood that idiom. Like what does it mean, the proof's in the pudding? Does that mean that someone's hiding secret documents in their desserts? Like, there's like a microchip inside the pudding that if you, like, go in there with a spoon, you'll find an SD card, because that would be kind of cool, right? Not if you ate it, obviously. But nonetheless, I think, you know, actions do speak louder than words. And while I am far better than I have ever been in the past several years of my life with a workflow, with the synergy between income and workflow, between a level of contention, is that a word? Contentedness? But yeah, a level of satisfaction in my life of where I'm going, what I'm doing, and seeing things falling into place. It's been pretty good, but I have big aspirations. And I mean, I'm still not going to rain out the possibility, even though it's Thursday morning at 7:47, the possibility of someone from NBC or Broadway Video or, you know, the SNL team saying, hey, we're flying you out here Saturday morning because you're going to do a 2-minute bit at the end of Saturday Night Live season 50, because we found this archive on the web during one of your podcasts, and the idea, we don't know how we overlooked this, of doing a cliffhanger. I mean, come on. First off, and I'm not beating the dead horse. The horse isn't dead, you know. I'm just trying to ride this horse, ride it off into like the summer sunset, right? Like, the season always ends right after Mother's Day. There's never a Father's Day episode, and there's never been a cliffhanger. So what better way to end SNL season 50 with a +1, right? I'm just saying. I think if I did a poll, like, people would be like, yo, that's a pretty dope idea. I would support that. Maybe I can do like a GoFundMe. That would kind of be funny, right? And I could even like troll no, I wouldn't do that. I have too much admiration and respect for SNL to do anything that they could perceive as a trolling or an insult, because there's nothing but love I have for that institution led by Lorne Michaels. I did start scripting up. I mean, I've been working on this for a while. Ever since I penned the opening for the Dua Lipa May the 4th episode last year, which I didn't submit. I should probably submit, and I had it ready well before they had their Monday morning meeting. But that's me. I don't pull the trigger enough because I'm a lover, not a fighter. But I guess I have to pretend like these are like the taco hunters' taco sauce guns, and that's a whole other thing. The taco hunter, right? Like, I go hunting for tacos usually on Tuesdays because that's like the best time when the targets are out there. But I load up a water gun with taco sauce because I taco like a boss, and my taco game's on point, and I think that would be fun, right? So. That's the only kind of the trigger I'm pulling. Well, okay, I'm not going to get into my personal, intimate life, but yes, I pull the trigger there too. But that's another story, right? And my partner pulls the trigger just as much as I do, if not more. But that's a whole other story. And what I really want to get into is pulling the trigger of your dreams. Like, okay, we're 12 minutes and 10 seconds in here. I want you to pause this for a second, right? Like, we're going to do some time travel here. I'm going to pause this right now in your mind when I tell you, and you're just going to write down one thing that you really, 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 really want to happen within the next month. Okay? If it could be anything really, and like, that's the whole thing. It could be something really, really crazy. It doesn't have to be something that you think is achievable, because the one thing I found, and things are kind of playing out that way in my life, where I'm just dreaming really big, and I don't know how things are happening and the way they're working, but things are just starting to fall into place. And I've had a couple things happen over the past 3 to 4 months when I've really gone into the manifestation and focusing on like being a good dude, bringing love and light into the universe, and just like chasing after my dream. The more I set intentions and put it out to the universe, the less I have to chase, I find. And so you, listening to this podcast, you're going to pause this podcast when I say now, and you're going to write down, you grab a pen, grab a piece of paper. You're probably a person that has a note card and a pen. If not, Dollar Tree, bro. Dollar Tree, sis. Like, you get a stack of 100 cards, and they're $1.25 plus tax, and a stack of pens, $1.25. Or you can get one of those fancy pens. Sometimes I like the little one that has like looks like a diamond on top, or the one that looks like the DJ ball. Yeah. Anyway, so for $2.50, you can really change your life. And this is the one thing that I try to share with people. Like, yes, I'm in growth mindset, and yes, I'm in money mindset, where I want to better myself and surround myself with things that will motivate me, like fancier things, like fancier people, fancier things, because that's the lifestyle that I'm going into, because I want to have some fun, and I'm not going to be like a wasteful individual that gets to that status and forgets about where I came from, because I still will go to the Dollar Tree. And I was trying to explain this to my lady lover, that straight up, baby, like, we can go to Dollar Tree. It doesn't mean we have to live in Dollar Tree. It doesn't mean we have to like take stock in Dollar Tree. But there's stuff that you buy in Dollar Tree that you would spend the same price for something similar in a fancy store. So why waste the money? It's called being smart AF, smart and funny. Because I'm frugal AF, frugal and funny. And so get out your pen, get out your paper, and On the count of 3, you're going to pause this, and then you're going to write down. First, you just think for like 30 seconds. Just think your happiest time. Go to your happy place, and visualize what makes you happy, right? And then you're going to write that down. And I'll even do it too, and I'll share it with you tomorrow. But my point of the matter is, just do it. Starting 3, 2, 1, starting now. Now, I'm kind of still in silence here, and I'm talking because maybe you didn't do it. But hey, what are you doing? Just pause this and then write it down. Okay, great. So now you've written this down. You're going to carry this card, this paper, whatever it is, with you for 7 days. And at least once a day, if not 3 times a day, you're going to look at this card and you're going to say, it already exists. We live in a quantum realm. It already exists. I'm doing it. And I'm going to focus on what that feels like. So you're going to take the card, look at it, then you're going to close your eyes and visualize and get the sensation of that happened. Because it did happen in another timeline in the quantum realm, right? And you're going to get those emotions and the feelings. And when you start getting the goosebumps, you're like, oh, this is so great, it's happening. Then you're going to put the card away and you're going to go live your life. And you're going to let your higher mind totally take over. Because like myself, like if I just lived the life that I was planning out over the past 3 months, I would not be where I am right now, which would be probably a step down. I feel that I've really leveled up in a great way by letting just serendipity and my love. The key is letting my love lead the way. We all often talk about the mind's eye. Get into that chakra and the mind's eye, right? But what about the heart's eye? The heart's eye. Imagine if instead of like having a hawk's eye, we had a heart's eye. And the heart's eye was like a bonsai tree that we get to shape and we get to control and we get to craft our heart to be whatever we want it to be. It's whatever we want it to be. So how we want to live, how we want to love, how we want to express ourselves, that's what we get the choice to do. Now, what we don't get the choice to do is to control how people react to it. And this has been my biggest challenge over my half-century plus of existence, is that I all too often try to get everyone to react and feel the way I want them to feel. But people are on their own journey. Some people, for whatever reason or another, hang on to the past and don't get over negative situations. Instead, they use that as a filter of how to observe and see things. And that could be, in my opinion, detrimental. Oh, yep. Oh, there we go. Happy Thursday. Patience is a virtue, but she won't always wait. The point of the matter is, like, okay. Like, I'm trying to have a poignant moment here, and we got people honking the horn. Come on. Everyone's going to get to go where they need to go when they need to get there, unless they were late and now they're blaming other people, which is usually what the case is. You never see someone that's early, on time, honking the horn or in a rush. It's usually people that are overstacked in their life or rushing around to make up for lost time. Anyway, point of the matter is, I find that when I've shifted between the mind's eye and the heart's eye and really led with love, like unconditional, like faith, like blind faith, like I don't know what's going to happen. Like people will say, oh, you have to, give your trust out little by little. What if you didn't? What if you just gave everyone your love and your trust unconditionally and just let the chips fall where they may? Like I've been doing that lately and things have been pretty darn good. Like, I don't think I'd be where I am today if I didn't lead with my heart. Now, that being said, the sea alien dude talked to me, must have been at this point, probably a good 17 years ago. And he was like, Johnny, your heart's gotten you so far, but you need to make a shift. And there's some truth to that. And so I'm making that shift. I'm being more conscious. That's a funny play on words, right? Conscious. And so as I'm being more conscious, I'm putting things out to the universe and saying, hey, Enough's enough. Never really got into that band. Never didn't get out of the band. There's just there's so much music you listen to. But what I am focusing on is my 7 days of success, and it starts today. Today, by 2 p.m., I will be at the Miami Beach Library on 22nd, 23rd, going into the recording studio just to record a couple tracks that I was supposed to record the other day, and to catch up on my 7 days of success. I'm going to remap out my 7 days of success this morning, and then going to go all in. So there's that. And so, new day, new life, as George Lucas would say, a new hope. There's always hope, as long as you believe there is. And with that, I believe we're at the end of this episode. But if you listen to the Soul Pilot and music from the Future 86 soundtrack, the end is always the beginning. And just remember that, my friends. Yes. Thank you for listening. And you have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow. If you're looking for some digital wizardry, check out thewizardcast.com. We do podcasts, we do social media, we do websites, we do tech consulting, we do business consulting. I mean, sometimes people have a business and they don't see things the way things aren't going the way they want. But when you get a wizard into your midst, they can channel in all these different types of angles and opportunities that maybe you didn't see because, like Einstein says, problems can't be solved from the same vantage point in which they were created, or something to that effect. So, that being said, have a blessed day. And I haven't said this in a while. If you got something you want to say to the show, you can always call the cool line. That's 650-383-7469, 650-383-7469. It's the cool line, the Wizardcast cool line. Who knows? You might hear your voice on the show, and that could be a pleasant compliment to my voice. So, you got a choice. Make it noise. Have a blessed day, and keep on keeping on. I, Johnny, out from the Who the Heaven Is I podcast.